Hello and welcome to America Salutes Its Veterans. What are we doing about the homeless issues with veterans? Well, to help us explore that today is Jonelle Draughn, and Jonelle is head of the homeless program for the VA, for the Midwest VA. That's the best way to say it. And Milton Schoen, Hennepin County Veteran Service Director.
Thank you,
welcome.
Judy.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
Homelessness, we know what a big issue it is for both of you, and that you spend a lot of time trying to help with people who are homeless. And you've got a program that's very interesting, Jonelle. Tell us a bit about your program.
We do. We have a large program, 17 staff at the Minneapolis VA. Our main goal is to end veteran homelessness. We have outreach, transitional programs, and also permanent supportive housing, which is called HUD-VASH.
When you say HUD-VASH, it's interesting. What does HUD-VASH mean?
It's subsidized housing. It's scattered site rental,
Yeah.
where a veteran is able to, they have to go out and find their apartment,
Right.
and they're living on their own, and but to participate in the program, they have to do something. They have to work with the VA and work on moving forward to become hopefully more self-sufficient and self-reliant.
Right. HUD is Housing Urban Development, and it's a partnership with VASH, which stands for VA Supportive Housing. And really it's providing permanent housing for veterans who require extra support in order to maintain independent living in the community. So that's really working with a case manager in a plan for recovery and a better quality of life.
How would I know that I could be eligible for your program?
Right, good question.
Well, you
Go
could
ahead,
walk into
Milton.
our office and we have information on it, and we send people.
And your
out-
office is?
The Hennepin County Veteran Service Office, and we send people to the front porch sessions at the VA that are held every Thursday, and they go over the programs and what's available and what is required of the participant, because that is people have to be engaged in this process, and people who participate in the program can get subsidized rental voucher, and we will get them a damage deposit, and we've got a program with the State Department of Veterans Affairs that assists us to do that. We've been very successful in getting people placed into this housing.
When you say Hennepin County VA, you mean?
Hennepin County Veteran Service.
And it is located where?
We're in the government center in downtown Minneapolis, and we've got the largest urban homeless population of veterans in the state.
And Jonelle is at?
I'm at the VA hospital in Minneapolis. And just to add, with the permanent supportive housing program, it's really key. There are 4 main criteria. One is being eligible for health care, and so first stop is meeting with Milt and his team to determine that. Also, just going to the medical center to figure that out is really important. The second piece is that they must meet the definition of homelessness. Third is that there's a required need for our services in order to maintain independence in the community. And then fourth is that willingness to participate with us and to work with us around their goals and getting a better life.
When somebody comes into your office and they say, I don't have a place to live, I'm homeless, what do you do to determine that you want to hook up with Jonelle at the VA?
Well, we interview every person that comes in, and we talk to them about the options, and we find out whether they're enrolled in VA health care, because if they're not, that's the first step, is to get a person enrolled in health care. And we'll connect them and send them out to the Minneapolis VA Medical Center for one of these sessions so they can enroll in this, and that's a critical piece.
Yeah, and what Milt's speaking about is our front porch group, which is held every Thursday morning, 8 a.m. at the VA Medical Center. You don't have to register for the group at all. Also, they can have access to us through our outreach in the various shelters that we're at. And
there are other programs. There are structured independent living programs. There are some people that need that, and the VA is very much engaged in that and working with providers such as Minnesota Assistance Council for Veterans, and an individual will originally live in a group setting, and ultimately they'll be living in a home, have their own bedroom in a home, and they're responsible for taking care of themselves and getting a job, paying 25% or so of their income towards the rent, and it's a way of moving people from dependency to self-sufficiency.
Right. Transitional housing programs is one of our other main programs, and we have 4 community agencies that have grants with us. We fund them to provide transitional housing
And who
services.
are they?
Minnesota Assistance Council for Veterans. Salvation Army has 2 programs with us. Catholic Charities, the Exodus Residents, and then also Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin, the Veteran Assistance Program. They're able to stay up to 2 years, really working on many goals around chemical dependency, mental health, vocational goals, saving money, and really the goal is residential stability.
Do you provide the services, the case manager services to the clients, or do the programs, do other programs?
It's a major partnership. We work day to day with each of those programs who have case managers in those programs, as well as case managers from our program. So the veteran is really receiving a lot of support and services to help with their goals.
Talk a bit about the major goals for your head of your VA healthcare program.
Right. It's a huge goal, and that's a national goal that's set forth that began with the Obama administration and VA Secretary Shinseki, and that really it's wanting to end
And that's General Shinseki.
Yes. Of ending veteran homelessness within 5 years. We're very passionate and driven about this, and many initiatives that are coming down and resources to help with it.
How would you consider even ending veteran homelessness?
I think it can happen.
Well, the numbers have been going down, and part of that is that the VA has more housing vouchers. They have more resources, and you just mentioned 4 of them that are available to homeless veterans. And there's the outreach, going to the shelters, getting out there, making people aware that you know, there are housing opportunities, and working on the behaviors of the individuals so that they can move forward.
Right. Our community partnerships with folks like Milton Schoen, with the Hennepin County Veterans Service Office, Minnesota State Veterans Affairs, really is key in us working toward this goal. Certainly not one agency could do this work alone. So we're really pleased about our community partnerships.
And it's a partnership. It's
Yes.
a partnership, whether it's, you mentioned State Department of Veterans Affairs, the VA Regional Office, the Medical Center. They're all working together. We've got nonprofits that are working on this. We've got the events, the stand down, where many resources are put together, and we identify.
In places like the stand down, that's where you expect homeless veterans to come and to learn about the programs and the things that they can get involved in.
Absolutely. Yes, stand downs that we have had 5 in Minnesota this year. Also Project Homeless Connect, which Minneapolis and St. Paul both have. And
Project
other
Homeless
counties.
Connect, Hennepin County.
Yes, yes, and other counties are participating in that too.
And there's a desire to reach out, to connect with individuals out there in need, and to get them connected to the services that are available, and also have services that are not just, you're always going to need this service, but to provide the service that will allow people to move forward and become less dependent.
And if you're listening to this show and you say, you may have had all these connection points, but I've never heard of it before, what do you do?
I would say the first thing is calling the Veteran Service Office, calling the VA Medical Center, our main office, at any time. Our Front Porch group is on every Thursday morning at 8 a.m. And now there's a new national call center for homeless veterans. That's operation is 24 hours, 7 days a week, where any provider, family member, or veteran can call to learn about resources.
And they call your office and?
They call our office, or they walk in, because we have a lot of people that don't have phones and don't have permanent addresses, and we work with them and get them enrolled in VA healthcare, get them into the Front Porch, and get them connected to the resources.
Jonelle, take the last 30 seconds and tell us, and it's a big issue, how do you work with women and families?
Right. Very huge issue, and certainly they are one of our biggest priorities. And so we're working through HUD-VASH, certainly women and children and veterans and families. We have 31 families right now that we're serving in our program, which is very successful. Our transitional housing program, some of those programs do accept women, and so that is definitely
it's a big issue, and we want
Absolutely.
you to write your congressperson about getting more in. Thank you so much, both of you. Milton Schoen from Hennepin County, Director of Veteran Service, and Jonelle Draughn, Homeless Coordinator from the VA, and thank you. You tell us what you want, and this is what you told us. Please let us know. We're happy to come to you today. Take good care of you.